Some of you have tagged me in a recent post by David Weck, and I've just watched the clip. Honestly, my first reaction was, what the heck did I just watch? Let's take some time to ponder over it and see where it leads us. Gregory von Lebe. For those who aren't familiar, David Weck is the inventor of the Bosu ball. As I explore some of his work, I found it challenging to fully comprehend where he's coming from. Nevertheless, I appreciate his open-mindedness because it's an essential asset to become a trailblazer in your field. However, venturing too far on your own path might lead to derailing yourself or getting eaten by the wolves. I'm cautious not to be too narrow-minded in my approach, and I remain eager to learn and grow. On the other hand, I'm aware that some people follow even Joel Seedman's approach, and there are instances where certain ideas get repackaged and sold to the masses as mere marketing ploys. With this in mind, let's delve into the exercise David Weck is demonstrating by first reading the description carefully. FFST and FFT are called fortified because the strap elastic 45 the body, you find equilibrium on strap elastic, which relieves you from the conventional burden of gravity. 45 degrees is a great launch angle for your body nervous system to get comfortable with as well. And because your anti-gravity myofascial system gets the rest, myofascial release work in this state facilitates unrestricted skeletal force transmission. The skeletal structure aligned and unencumbered by habitual fascial restrictions. Basically, you'll learn force transmission without interference from the tensional imbalance stemming from life's bumps and bruises, bad habits, and restricted postures. Now, if you're anything like me, I initially struggled to understand what he really means. Now, this might raise some red flags in some cases, because some individuals intentionally weave their thoughts in strange gibberish. They use buzzwords to confuse readers and hide the fact that what they are saying or what they are doing doesn't make a lot of sense. It's as if they're saying, "You peasants just do not understand." Now, I'm not implying that this is David's angle, it's just a thought that I want to share with you. Now, from my understanding, I think he's talking about stretching and getting some kind of relief without gravity, coupled with some form of strength training. Now, this sounds like something you could do in space. Now, getting a good stretch is beneficial. For example, the dead hang can work wonders in decompressing your spine after standing all day or squatting heavy weights. However, I'm having difficulty seeing the connection between executing some sort of ballistic exercise and removing the effect of gravity. Your body's ability to engage strength reserves, for example, works best when standing on solid ground. Adding to the complexity, he's throwing kettlebells towards the floor while being strapped to a beam for life support. This approach appears to be a risky way to train, and your shoulders likely have to exert unnecessary effort. Now, here's my concern. If you're someone who just wants to train to stay healthy, I don't think you need this type of complexity. The basics work best for 99% of us. For athletes, there's room for sport-specific training, most definitely, but it should closely resemble the joint movements or actions in your regular sport. Here's a good example of a sport-specific exercise from my sensei Steve Cotter. He loads his body with kettlebells to train a specific maneuver in jiu-jitsu. Adding weight and doing it explosively strengthens the muscles that aid him in his technique, especially when under load or fatigue. Such sport-specific exercises can give you an edge. Your strength gains need to align with your sport, or they may interfere with your nervous system's execution of skills, making you slower or less powerful. Coming back to David's exercise, it's truly challenging to wrap my head around it. Now, there are other tried and tested exercises you could do to improve your GPP, your general physical performance, such as double cleans. You could also improve your skills in striking or fighting with exercises like rack holds or snatches. However, I'm digressing to a certain extent. I think David's approach is aimed towards getting a good stretch. However, the strength training part with throwing kettlebells seems a little bit strange. That's why I find this exercise highly unusual. And if there are any benefits, the risk to reward ratio might be skewed negatively. And there's something that you have to understand. In today's world of social media and YouTube, we have to exercise proper discernment. It's essential to be cautious as we navigate through the wild west of fitness information and education. That's not a jab at David, but rather a realization of how outrageous exercises tend to attract the most engagements in the realm of social media. And that's something that you can easily demonstrate if you compare the recent posts by David and watch how his most outrageous exercise gets the most engagement. So my final note, I'm open to listening to David's interpretation for this exercise. And you won't see me hanging from a beam, punching 2 kettlebells into the air like a madman.